The idea of vetting someone might really sound like a big, scary ordeal, and adding it to syndication deal sponsors just boggles people's minds. So, if you don't know how to vet a real estate syndication deal sponsor, don't worry, you're not alone. Hey there, I'm Greg Butcher with BluSky Equity Partners. And after watching this video, you'll know exactly what it means to vet a deal sponsor and why it's so important. And you'll no longer be one of the confused masses. Instead, you'll be that much closer to savvy investor status. Pretty cool, right? When you first begin to meet syndication deal sponsors, you'll also likely begin having different deals landing in your inbox. Some people begin by looking at the specifics of the deal. But while the deal is important, the first thing you'll want to do before investing in a real estate syndication is to vet the sponsor. Think through this with me. When you invest in a real estate syndication, you're putting your money in for multiple years at a time. So you don't want to invest with just anybody. You want to make sure you're investing with a sponsor who knows what they're doing, who's in this for the right reasons, and who will put their investors' interests first. When I'm looking at a new sponsor I might invest passively with, I first and foremost go with my gut. Do I like this person? Do I think that they're competent and that they can live up to their claims? And are they honest and transparent with their investors? What are their core principles? Are they people of integrity? Never underestimate the power of a gut feeling. The next most important thing is to examine a sponsor's track record. Take a look at what the sponsor has done in the past. Where have they invested? What types of deals have they invested in? And how have those deals performed? Do they meet their projections? If there are some that haven't, why was that? Have they exited any deals? What's their average return to investors? And what can you expect if you were to invest with them? Ask about how frequently they send performance reports to their investors in a deal and what they include. Better yet, ask for a sample of one of their investor reports. Some sponsors send reports monthly and others send them quarterly. Some are more detailed and others less detailed. Some hold periodic webinars with their investors or send pre-recorded video updates, while others stick with emails. What you want to know is, do they send you enough information and keep you informed frequently enough to make you comfortable? Do they report the bad news as well as the good, or do they only report the sunshine without mentioning the rain clouds? How transparent are they? And how available and responsive will they be when you have questions? I've personally invested with sponsors who sent reports routinely, but they had very little information in them. I never had a very good understanding of what was going on with the property. I also had one where the main sponsor rarely responded to questions. Neither one of those made me feel very good about those deals. You want to be sure to invest with sponsors who inspire confidence and make you comfortable with how they manage your investment. Be sure to ask them lots of questions, ask for references, and ask for connections to their partners and other investors who are currently invested in their deals. Your conversations with the references and connections will give you the inside scoop as to what it's like to work with that sponsor from an investor's standpoint. Someone just like you who's in deals with that sponsor as a passive investor. You might learn that maybe the communications are a little bit lacking, or maybe they're sometimes late with their distributions. Or you might learn that they've been fantastic. So definitely ask for references. Don't automatically dismiss the idea of investing with a sponsor just because they've had deals that didn't meet their projections. Instead, take the opportunity to ask them why that happened and how they changed their strategy or procedures because of it. These should have been learning points for them. And this is a business where we're all constantly learning in. Most importantly, find out how they handled the situation and how they communicated it with their investors. Investing does involve risk. Not every deal will always meet projections, even for the best syndicators. There are some seasoned and savvy investors who won't invest with a sponsor who hasn't had a deal go badly before because they want to know how they'll handle it. There's a lesson that applies here, which I learned during nearly 20 years as an officer in the Marine Corps. A person's character is revealed by how they respond to adversity. So learning if and how a sponsor has dealt with it in the past is perhaps the most important lesson of all. How a sponsor answers your questions about a deal that didn't go as well as they hoped, and if they're honest and transparent about it, will give you more information about their character. As you're asking the sponsor all these questions, don't just listen to what they're saying, but listen to how they're answering your questions. You're looking for a sponsor who's open, flexible, and who wants to help you, whether or not you invest with them. What you don't want is to find a sponsor who's going to be defensive and closed off as you ask these questions. You're going to have many more questions as you get into the legal documents, funding, and throughout the life of a project. So it's important for you to test the waters up front and see how the sponsor responds to your questions before you are in a deal. Now, I know you're interested in learning more about sponsors and real estate syndications, and with the returns you can earn with them, how could you not be? Join the BluSky Investor Club today via the link in the description below. Once you've joined, you'll have access to our deals, and you'll be able to meet with us so you can vet us, just like we talked about in this video. And finally, of course, I appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit the like button below, share this video with a friend, and don't leave without subscribing first. I'm Greg with BluSky Equity Partners. Thank you so much for watching.